Hey, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Real Talk with King and Sharif. I'm King,
I'm Sharif.
and tonight we are talking about,
The Diddy trial.
yes,
The Diddy trial. Because this is so much on more levels than just Diddy.
it is.
This is sex trafficking. Yeah, this is sex trafficking. This is uh domestic violence. This is uh a woman not knowing what she's worth, you know what I'm saying, how to get help.
It's a lot.
It's a lot, and I just kind of wanted to attack that because this probably be like a 2 segment thing because I think
Probably.
this trial is gonna go
Yeah.
over with. We're gonna need more than an hour. I think I just want to start off by apologizing to any woman that I've ever verbally abused. I mean, I've had a couple women jump on me and they probably turned into a fight, but I never jumped on a woman. But anything that I could have avoided that I didn't avoid in my past, I have 7 sisters, from my mother's, from my stepfathers to my stepmother's side of the family. I have 7 sisters that I grew up with. And even though maybe 3 or 4 of them aren't blood, but you know what I mean, we still grew up together and I spent more time with them than I did my blood sisters.
Mm-hmm.
I have a mother, I had a grandmother. I have all my mother had was sisters and one brother, you know what I mean? I feel so bad for the women that went through this. Um, I mean, and I've been a part of, conversations where men have told me, yeah, I got that. She'll do anything for me, You know what I mean? And I just kind of just turn the other head and don't say nothing or get in their business and everything. I apologize for those women if it was something I could have said to one of my friends or one of my associates or one of my coworkers that were talking like that, because I have been a part of those conversations.
Mm-hmm.
To see her on the stand, well, they don't have cameras in there, but they have the little drones and the people come out and tell you what the person said and stuff like that. To hear the details of that urination on a female, like I don't even know where you can where that is even sexy at. Somebody peeing on you, I don't even like. I hate when I trip on myself. Like it's, you know what I mean. So it's just crazy. Like it's amazing. So anything all the times I said the B word, you know what I'm saying. It's just it's wild.
We talked about this in a previous podcast. So let me just preface what I'm about to say with this. I am a woman before I'm anything else.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But then the underlying layer to that is being a Black woman. Mm-hmm. And I think that I'm alluded to, as a matter of fact, it was the podcast with Pete
OGP Rose?
Yep.
Right.
Where at the very end I said that being a Black woman, we're the most unprotected demographic on earth. We bear the brunt of everything. And this particular case is a prime example of that, I believe. Mm. So on behalf of everyone that you may not have done your absolute best by, we accept your apology.
All right.
When you know better, you do better. Going forward, make sure you do your due diligence to protect not just Black women.
I'm not a bad guy.
No. I know
just
that you're
feel
not.
Bad.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Just like if somebody would have done that to my sister, like he wouldn't even made it to a courtroom.
The thing about, I don't think that a lot of women have gone through as extreme as what she's gone through. But being a woman, we do go through, I mean, every day we go through things. Being looked at, you can't control what somebody else does, but being looked at and sometimes being followed in stores and sometimes followed out to your car and you know, sometimes some of the inbox messages you get, it can be a little bit much. It can be a little bit much.
I personally never stalked a woman. I never thought it was that serious. And I personally never told a woman that she had to wear this and had to look at this. And I never had a woman that I wanted one of my homeboys to sleep with. Or somebody, or never went out in the club and picked somebody for and watched a woman that I care about have like sex with somebody. I mean, I know it happens. I mean, we've all at this age, we have all. That's why this is a more mature show than what.
Yeah.
You know, but,
so that's a disclaimer for everyone that's watching. Some of the topics that we're going to discuss during this segment are going to be adult, and some of them are going to be very triggering. And I have to put the disclaimer out that I did not sit down and physically watch any of the Diddy trial.
Well, it's not on tape. Yeah,
right.
yeah. So
I've got bits and pieces.
Yeah, you got what everybody else got then because you it's not on TV.
Yeah. So I didn't listen to the transcript. I've heard bits and pieces through TikTok and just other social media platforms. Because honestly, some of it's triggering to me as a woman and some of my experiences. So I'm here to give that perspective as a woman and as a decent human being.
Right.
What about the recap? Because I really don't even know what's going on.
This man is nasty. He's a sex predator. This man is old.
Allegedly.
No, it's not allegedly. Not allegedly. You know when somebody's lying. Like, this girl ain't making this stuff up.
I don't believe she is either.
And he paid her off not to tell this story. The only reason why she's telling this story. No, it wasn't that. She has no those
civil.
That
and
civil
criminal.
things have nothing to do with the feds. It may protect you from state prosecution.
Right.
But if the federal government wants to pick up anything and it's not passed
and it's federal because how they're really gonna get him or allegedly gonna get him.
They went through different states.
The RICO charges is what they're
right. Well, they're trying to say he got a criminal enterprise. And they haven't even got to the criminal side of it. This is just the sex side of it, you know.
Right, and that's what we were talking about earlier before we came on air is how they were trying to pull the RICO charges into the sex trafficking.
Right.
And so how the plan is the federal government's case. The government's case is that he used in order to pay for all these things that he did to these different women in the sex trafficking.
He used the label.
He used his business.
He used his business. Yeah. That's where racketeering comes in.
Right.
And I don't know if they can prove that because from what I've seen so far, they haven't proven that.
Well, the case just got started too.
Yeah, it just got started. Yeah. They haven't proven that this was through Bad Boy. They just have proven that he's a sexual predator, and that they haven't brought forth the other women that he were flying out to do all this crazy stuff and make them have sex with all the different celebrities. They haven't even got that part. They just on Cassie right now. And the only reason why they got Cassie this early is because she's almost about to have a baby, and they don't want to delay the trial.
Do you think they're gonna bring Carisha in?
I mean, I don't think she had nothing to do with that. I think he was a different person after that. At that point in life. You know, he may still have wanted threesomes and things like that, but I don't think he was.
You don't think she knew what was going on?
No, I don't think he was doing all the sex slave slapping and watching people have sex and all that. I really think.
I say once a freak, always a freak.
Yeah, and I believe that too, and they're gonna have to prove that to me because I just don't get the girl from Miami out the Pork and Bean Projects letting a man pee on her. That's about money. I think she just about that money, and I think he was in love with her. He's a lot older than he was with Cassie. You know what I'm saying? When he was with Cassie, you know, he probably was in his 40s.
How old is he now?
I mean, he's about 55. When he first got with Cassie, they're alleging that he was 37, 38 years old when he got with her. Okay. So he was a lot younger than what he is now, you know what I mean? At this point, when you get at this age, well, I'm not there yet, but at that late age, from my experience of knowing people, when you get a young woman like that, that's more of a prize than someone you want to slave, you know what I mean? Yeah. And plus, she already had a career. Cassie wanted a career. She didn't want to not have a career, and he was threatening her with that, you know what I mean? Like, hey, I got you on the 10-album contract. You'll never make a song again. You know what I mean? It's just like a lot, you know, a 10 album contract. Like I'm in the music business. Like, yeah, I mean, I've never heard anybody with a. Sometimes labels will give a person that like a legendary act a 10 album contract, knowing that they can't fulfill it just so that they'll always be taken care of and be on the payroll as a thank you. You know what I mean? But a 10 album contract for a 22-year-old,
yeah, that's
somebody that doesn't have a lawyer. That's somebody that's just in love with somebody that just signed some shit. You know what I mean? That's just crazy. I've never heard of that. Like, I mean, this whole trial, and you heard bits and pieces of it, but you never knew this much.
Yeah.
Like, this is like really, really weird. Like, bruh, like you see this man, you looked up to this man as a young man. Puff Daddy.
But did you though? Because
I did. I was a fan of Puffy. Even when he was going through it with Bad Boy, I was a fan of Puffy.
So, I mean...
I always been a fan of Puffy.
Well, so I'm not going to sit here and say that I wasn't a semi-fan of him, but it didn't always seem... Something didn't always seem kind of off to you about him? Never?
No, I knew he was a party person. He wasn't a settled down person, but I don't... Yeah, I mean, nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with partying because everybody goes to that.
Yeah, everybody don't want to be married. You know what I mean? It ain't nothing wrong with a playboy if you let people know up front, I'm a playboy. I'm not a settled down man. I'm going to have babies by other women. I'm not a one man.
That's not what I mean, though.
Yeah.
To me, there was always something kind of off in
I never thought he was a homosexual. I never thought, you know what I mean? I never got that out of him. I never got sex slave R. Kelly. I never got R. Kelly vibes from him. I never did. I mean, I just thought he was just I thought he was mean, but I thought, you know, that's, you know, when you don't know business, you think, okay, that's what it takes.
To be mean?
I mean, most of the successful businessmen are mean. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know about business. Shit, women probably worse. I've had a couple women bosses that have been worse than that. But you know what I mean? It's most of the bosses aren't nice. You know what I mean? Like
I was a nice boss.
Some of them are nice, but then the ones that are nice, like when they flip, they really flip.
Oh, but see, that's
you know you can get fired. Like you know, some of the mean bosses are just like tough.
Yeah.
Tough love, and but, you know they let you breathe. But some of the nice bosses, you just push them to the limit, and they just they come in and they fire the whole staff.
Keep
you know,
poking the bear.
Yeah, they fired the whole staff. So I didn't, you know, I always just thought he was a businessman. I just didn't, and I always loved the way. I mean, I when he did The Shine, I thought was very
well, and that was. I'm glad you said that.
That was street shit.
I'm glad you said that because. Thinking back on, and maybe this is the thing that I always thought was kind of off, is that he would have these shows and making the band and making the band, right?
Right.
And doing all these different things. But
he was controlling.
Right. And everybody that was on making the band never made the band. Like it was never, and they never jumped off.
No, they made the band. They just were controlled. Now you see it. He's just a controller. It didn't matter if it was like the girl had been saying that shit for years. The girl from Danny DeCane, like she was saying she got fired from the group because she couldn't keep her weight at a certain, like she was eating, throwing up, making herself throw up just to make weigh in. So now that's a controlling person. That's
I like food too much.
That's a controlling person that's making you weigh in.
Big girl
but we didn't believe her though.
Right,
we didn't believe her because we loved because
it
was Puff. You know what I mean? And now all the stuff that you didn't believe back in the day, now you're gonna believe it.
Okay, so what do you think of
I think he had Tupac killed.
Okay, I was
took
the word out of my mouth,
I never thought that.
Okay, so I
never
also
thought
think
that.
and this is the conspiracy theorist in me. I also think that he had something to do with Biggie dying. He had something to do with Jamie Foxx being poisoned. He had something, or getting sick. Al B. Sure getting sick. And I also think that he had something to do with Kim Porter dying too, because she was writing or had written a tell-all expose book about him. And somebody that is beautiful and just vibrant and virile and running around doing all these things, all of a sudden die of pneumonia or whatever it was.
I'm not going to follow that because people get pneumonia and everybody that gets sick don't go to the doctor.
But everybody wasn't writing no tell-all book by Diddy either.
Yeah, it could be a coincidence.
I'm not gonna buy. I don't believe in coincidences.
I'm not gonna buy that one. I'm buying the Albie Shore thing. I think he just was tired of Albie Shore in the mix. He already raised his son, and Albie Shore was coming back around. Yeah, you know what I mean.
I can't stand you.
Yeah,
Come on, man.
I'm buying the Albie Shore thing.
I'm
not only buying the Tupac thing. I'm stamping that.
You stamping that? Okay. What about Biggie?
I'm not buying the Biggie thing. I think he loved Biggie.
I think he loved him too.
I think Biggie
there ain't
was
no
his
honor
money.
among thieves now. I think he loved him too.
I just think you don't kill the man with that's making you all the money. And
but he was getting ready to leave the label, wasn't he?
No, that was Tupac. Tupac wanted to leave Death Row. Biggie was locked in. He had just got a little distribution deal where he could make his own label and get his own artists. Do I think Biggie might have been asking him like, "Hey man, we quadruple platinum. I'm the hottest thing ever. Why did I only get a $5 million signing bonus?" You know what I mean? I think
so
he
you
was.
Think you think he?
But I don't think that make you kill a person. Cause you contractually already own them, you know what I mean? You don't have to kill them, you know.
But I understand that. But understand who we talking about too.
Nah,
the dude is diabolical, bro. Is diabolical.
Oh, he's diabolical. I think he tried to. I think he off Big Meats people. I think he did a lot of stuff. You know what I mean? But
so what makes you think he's above?
I don't think he did the Biggie. And the reason why I don't think he did the Biggie thing is just like it's just like, man, I just think you out there in LA, that's just retaliation for Pop. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, you know what I mean? Y'all knocked off Pop. Everybody feels like you were behind Pop. People in the West Coast have long said that what is this dude's name? The dude, Keedy, whatever. The dude that they just got convicted, he didn't get convicted for killing Pop. He got convicted for the conspiracy of it. You know what I mean? But they had the Keedy something or some dude, West Coast dude that started bragging about it later on down the road, and then the police brought the charges back up, and now they're charging him with Tupac's murder or whatever. But they already convicted him of conspiracy and all this other stuff. He don't even have to go for Pop's murder. He's already gonna spend the rest of his life in jail. Mm-hmm. But he said Puffy paid him $1 million to kill Tupac. So you know what I'm saying? But they haven't been able to tie it yet. But because this dude now is saying that he didn't say that now. You know what I mean? First he was wanting to be a superstar and like be a martyr, like, you know what I mean, I the one that killed Pac, and now he's backtracking after, spending time in the LA County jail. Now he's backtracking
I'm sure.
Yeah, now he's backtracking like, oh, I didn't say that, I didn't mean that, I was a high, you know what I mean? Those kind of things. But yeah, definitely I think Biggie got killed for revenge on Pac. Mm-hmm. And I think Puffy might have had something to do with that third party because he put the hit out on Pac. But, you know what I mean, as far as him saying, hey, I want Biggie killed, I don't think so. But I just think he's got his hands in a whole lot of stuff that's worse than that.
Yeah. So what do you think is, so based on what you've heard about the trial, where did they end it today? And
from what the last time I checked, I think it was still going on. From the last time I checked, she was saying she from the free call, she had urinary tract infections, rashes, STD at one time. She's basically just going through painting the picture. She's doing a good job. I mean, they were going to tear her up on the stand because she was a grown woman when she did these things. Mm-hmm. But, you know what I mean, if I was a juror for what I'm looking at right now, the prosecution is building the case that she's a sex slave. And sex trafficking will get you 30 years to see what R. Kelly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Sex trafficking will get you 30 years and he's 52 years old, man. That's a life sentence. In the federal penitentiary, there's no time cut or nothing like that. He's got an education. He's not on drugs. He doesn't have any programs that he could take to like reduce his sentence. He's gonna do the 30. And like he's gonna come out 82 years old if he come out at 82 years old. Because I mean, prison gonna add every year you do gonna add a year of age on to you. So I doubt he can do 30 and live, you know.
So this
talking about old boy. Well, I think he married. No, he married. I mean, and well, first let me say this. First, this is the third baby they had, so that's not nothing new. It's not like she's pregnant. I mean, this last time this man been with Cassie 2016. I mean, it's almost 9 years removed from each other. He done been in relationships back with his baby mama, another baby mama, you know what I mean? Young Miami and a couple people before that. Like, this is not like nothing. This is like not nothing new, but with Cassie. But my whole thing is, as far as the husband goes, it's just like this. Like, you know, I mean, I'm pretty sure she told him. But I bet you he didn't know the details. Well, maybe
sure
maybe
he did
she
know
had
the
to tell him the
details.
details.
She had to.
I mean, but let me not take this away from the whole situation. He's a predator. He used everything, all his resources against her but at the end of the day, she didn't walk away because she wanted to be a star. And she was, what had that been Wally Sharif that was doing that to her? I think, you know, she probably said, F you, dude. But just because, and she said that on the stand, she said, well, I sent him an email, said, I just want to be with, I just want to be with you. I don't want to be with everybody else. I just want to be with you. She wanted to be with this man even after she did all of that. Like,
so that's what I was going to say. Mm-hmm. That even though he is who he is, and he's as powerful as he is, she stayed because she wanted to be a star. Okay. Mm-hmm. But you know the old saying, love is a hell of a drug. Yeah, love is a hell of a drug.
But you, it's a difference between letting. If I ask you for a freak off, you're gonna look at me like, nigga, what the fuck you talking about? And Puff Daddy asked for you a freak off, you may be like, what the fuck you talking about? And then you think about it.
Well, no, okay, and so let me speak on that from the healed perspective, the healed woman perspective, and then let me also speak on that from a woman that's not so healed, from the woman that I used to be. Okay. The woman that I used to be, I won't say that I would have gone as far as doing the freak off type situation, but I was in a situation that there was not a lot that man could ask me that I wouldn't have done for him. Regardless, and he ain't have nothing. He didn't have anything, but he did have my heart and he had my love, and I was willing to do anything for him. Now, speaking from a who I am now, I'm not going to do anything that's going to sacrifice my self-dignity, my self-respect, or my self-worth. I'm not doing that. I'm just not. But consider how young she was, how impressionable she was, and yes, there was money involved, and yes, she had aspirations of being a star. And so when people say, "Well, if it was that bad, why didn't you just leave?" I don't think that a lot of people understand the perspective of someone that is under abuse. And abuse isn't necessarily just physical abuse. Abuse can be emotional abuse, especially when you're dealing with a narcissist. And I would say that he's a top tier, he's a monster, but he's also a narcissist as well. And once you get conditioned to being in that atmosphere, it wears you down after a while, and you do what you got to do. You go along to get along, basically. So I hear you, but I also know, again, I've never been in that extreme of a situation, but I also know how it feels to want to please the person that you're with.
No, I get it because somebody had to explain to me. So I have a client, and she got in trouble, and she told me she was a sex slave or whatever. And she told me how she got picked up. She ran away and met somebody at a truck stop, and she told me how that went, and she was on drugs and all kind of stuff. So okay, I get that. And she was under the same the same situation. This is what I don't get. At 28, you know what I mean? Like 21, 23, 28. Like, she's a beautiful woman. Like 28, like, at some point, and then she even said it on the stand, and this may have hurt her case. They asked her, did she like it? And she said, yeah. But the only reason why I liked it, because they're going to show tapes of her into it. And she said, the only reason why I liked it was because I thought I was pleasing him. And I get that, but at the same time, 28, own money, successful, nigga.
Listen, beauty and wealth and self-worth are not mutually exclusive.
She even dated another nigga.
It does not matter. It doesn't matter. If the man that you love with all your heart wants you to do a thing and he likes it and you're male-centered and you feel like he completes you and he's the end all to be all, then it doesn't matter how she looked. It doesn't matter the money that she had in her account. It doesn't matter if she was dating somebody else.
Right.
What matters is that her heart is connected to him. This is what he wanted, and she wanted to please him.
Once she escaped, she went back.
Because most victims of domestic violence and emotional abuse go back.
Right. I mean, you escaped, though. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, okay.
Listen, in all transparency, I was in a domestic violence.
Right.
I was in a domestic violence situation. I went back.
No, but this is different than getting slapped. I mean, that's horrible. But this is like,
I got more slapped.
This man did more than beat her up in the hotel lobby. This man did her in. But she was able to leave him, get in another relationship, and still went back to it.
So did Kim Porter.
Yeah.
And you can't tell me he wasn't beating her up. You can't tell me that he wasn't. You can't tell me that this is not a pattern for him. And see, here's the thing about abusers. People that are, men that are abusers, and I'm sure the audience will correct me if I'm wrong, but men that are abusers, they pick a certain type of woman as their prey. They're not going to pick somebody that they know going to pull out a gun and pistol whip them if they beat them. They're not going to do that.
So what's different now? 43 kids by another man. What stopped her from going on the stand and just being like, I love you, Diddy, I'm not going to tell on you?
Because you get to a point where you wake up. Like,
that's what I'm saying. Like 7 years later.
But it wasn't time for her to wake up.
Okay.
And here's what I'll say.
I don't think she started out.
No, I know.
I think she started out a sex slave. But damn it, at 28,
she was
you with another rapper.
She was a sex slave in love, though.
Yeah.
Because there's always going to be, there's always going to be a certain man for women that's always going to be the one that you always going to be looking at like, what if? I'm just saying what I know. But when I was in the situation that I was in, everybody was looking at me like, girl, what is wrong with you? Like, we can see it. My kids could see it. My parents could see it. Everybody could see it, right? But I couldn't see it. And so until she made the decision in her own mind that I'm sick of this shit, it didn't matter what anybody else saw. It didn't matter what anybody else said. It didn't matter who else she dated. If her heart was with him and her emotional soul bond tie was with him, then it didn't matter who she moved on to. Yeah. If she didn't get to the point where she was tired and she didn't want to be separated from him, then it is what it is. She was going to continue to go back until she fundamentally in her soul, in her spirit, got tired of being abused by him. Because I'm going to tell you something. I would talk to my friends, I would talk to my mom, and they basically would be like, well, girl, we understand. And, it's not the right situation for you. And we're here for you whenever, you decide you want to. Even your boy was like, whatever you want to do, let me know. Okay. In my heart of hearts, I knew that I wasn't ready to do anything. I wasn't ready to make that move, right? But one morning, I woke up and I was like, I won't say the cuss word, mama, because I know you're watching. But I was like, F this. I'm not doing this no more. And I didn't ask anybody's opinion. I didn't get anybody's opinion. I just did what I had to do for me and my kids. And when I tell you, I left everything in that house The only thing that I took was a couch, my kids' clothes, and their beds, and that was it. And I didn't discuss it with anybody because I finally got to the point where I was tired. Some women never get to that point. Some women get so conditioned with how they're being treated, they think that that shit is normal, and that's the way that their life is supposed to end. She happened to wake up. When she left him the first time, when she escaped the first time, she wasn't ready to leave him. And she went and looked for somebody else because she thought she wanted better, but her heart wasn't ready for that yet. I'm just saying.
That's just hard to find a man like, I mean, he's guilty of something.
Oh, he's definitely guilty of something.
I just don't know if he's guilty of what they trying to pull up on him.
Well, what do you think that he's not guilty of? Racketeering?
The racketeering is deep. Like that's
them RICO charges are. I mean,
yeah, you got to prove that you tied it into the business. I don't see how they tied that in.
Because he was using his business to pay for all his situations.
I mean, I think he could have took care of her and did all of that without Bad Boy.
I think this is bigger than Cassie though. Because she's
just
the first witness. Yeah. Because she's just the first witness.
She's just the first witness. Yeah. We gotta watch. I mean, I'm pretty sure they got more than that because they're gonna have to have more than that because this defense attorney is really good.
Well, and don't they expect for the trial? He's gonna
spin that like she liked it.
Well, don't they expect for the trial to last for 6 weeks?
Yeah, but I'm just saying she's going first because she's pregnant. She's about to have a baby.
Right.
But before she goes to have that baby, he's getting ready to spin that thing like she's a whore. And when she's spinning like a whore, that goes back to the husband. Because now they about to put forth evidence that she probably didn't think they had or probably didn't know would come up in court that her husband may not know.
I don't believe that. I think that
defense attorneys are cold-blooded.
I understand. But I also think that for her to leave Diddy, and go to the man that she's married, there had to be transparency about exactly what happened. Because there is no way that if I was in that situation...
It had to be a white boy. She could have never spent that shit to a nigga. And a nigga would have accepted that shit. So that she would have got to, I slept with different men.
It's not time for that episode to be over yet, is it? It's not time
while
yet.
My husband was in the corner. Well, my husband was in the corner with a bandana and all kind of shit, jacking off shit. God. No, I'm like, honey, you're a little too more advanced than me.
Harry, it's too soon for me to say. And with that, okay, all right. And with that,
we still got 10 minutes. We still got 13 minutes.
Dang, Wally.
Oh, wow. We got 35 minutes.
Oh. Now he never would have been able to spin that to a nigga.
I don't know.
She couldn't. Ain't no nigga accepting no shit like that. What nigga accepting that shit? I know niggas make hoes housewives and shit every day, but I'm just saying that's a little bit more than a hoe. That motherfucker was basically a prostitute. Like, what can you do with that?
Wally, you just apologized. You just apologized.
I did, but I'm saying how people think. I'm not saying how I feel. I'm saying how people. If she came at you, you never knew her.
So Leslie have her come and spread that human material on him.
I like how you put that.
I mean, that was years ago, so I'm pretty sure it's not still contaminated. But my whole thing is thinking this. Like, she done been through all this wild shit. Like, what else man is into that? Like, do you even think you could please her? I'm not talking about 5-6 years later into the relationship. Now maybe you think, hey, she's mine. But when you first start telling that story...
So I would hope...
That's a horrific story.
It is horrific, but I would hope that man, white man or black man, would see her soul and be able to disconnect the two. Like, what happened to you in the past. Because she was a victim. I don't care what you say.
She was a victim.
I don't care what you say.
I feel sorry for her.
Okay, but you can't... That was her past, and that's the thing that happened to her. So you can't...
That's just like a girl coming to me and say, hey, I want to be up front just in case you see some shit on social media. But yeah, when I was in high school, I slept with the whole football team. I mean, how am I supposed to accept that as a?
If you love her, you'll accept it.
No.
No.
You slept with the whole football team. I got a complex about that. It's a man thing. Like even a man with a 10-inch penis.
So
I feel subconscious about a man with an 11-inch penis.
Time out, Coach.
It's just a man thing.
Time
We're
out.
keeping it real.
Time out. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So it's okay for you to have ran through the entire cheerleading squad.
No, but that's not what we own, though. That you can't. You can't do that. That's a woman's defense.
For
all
all
can't do
the
that.
women that are listening and that will watch this episode, I need you to understand. I need you to understand the double. You need to explain the double standard to me.
It's not a double standard.
How is that not a double standard?
I'm not running through a whole cheerleading.
No,
That's
I never
you.
did.
Right.
I've never ran a train ride. It's never been 5 women lined up for me to come have sex with them. Now it has. I have been in a dorm room where a guy has a girl in there, and they say, "Hey, you can do what you want to do." I have been through that. Now, if that girl came to me 10 years down the line and we had a conversation, and she said, "Well, yeah, you know, I'm glad we're getting along, but it's something I want to tell you. I slept with your homeboy." My college roommate, or you know what I mean, or somebody because she was out there. That's tough to deal with. That's tough to deal with. And they got something. The Brittany Renner girl that Kevin Gates messing with. Like who wants her?
To her?
Like who wants her? He married?
He does. Okay.
I didn't know he divorced his other one, but who wants her? I don't care if she throws on a Muslim kima garment or pray 5 times a day to the east, baby. You still slept with 10 people that I know. Not that I don't know, but that I know. That would be tough to get over.
Okay, so what you're telling me is
Cassie couldn't get it. No, as beautiful as she is, if I seen Cassie on the street,
she would
be a no.
She was a victim.
I understand that, but she still done been ran through.
Oh my God!
She wasn't raped. She
was brainwashed.
No.
She was. You don't think so?
I think she was scared to lose everything. So you could say brainwashed.
I think she was scared of losing.
I accept brainwashed.
I think she was scared of losing everything, but I also think more importantly, she was afraid of losing the man that she loved, who also happened to be a very charismatic, wealthy, narcissist predator.
Good woman for the white boy, not good enough for me. I couldn't mess with him. And it's evident that she was messing with all these black men and she married a white guy.
Like, are you serious right now?
Yeah, hey, you open the door for him? Let's kiss my hat. She did. Think about it. After Diddy, she dated all these black. She was still in the mix. Out of being in the mix with all these black men, she chose a white man. Why?
I don't think race has nothing to do with it.
Her and Diddy was going through the clubs, picking people. They were picking male strippers. Big buck niggas.
All right.
I'm just saying.
Okay, well maybe I can't.
What made her go to the white dude? And he's not the white dude. Like he's not like the big white dude, buff white dude. He's like lame white dude at the wait.
Okay. So what makes you think
he's
that
the IT guy? I'm just saying. He's about wait a minute.
Okay, but
I'm talking about a white guy. He's about wait a minute.
You are the IT guy, right?
Yeah,
but what I'm saying, listen to what I'm saying. Don't you think that after everything that she went through with a black man, that she would choose somebody that's safe on the opposite?
Well, after everything she went with a black man, she still was talking to black men. But when she chose the baby daddy husband or whatever, she jumped down to the white guy.
There's nothing wrong with white men, though. There's nothing wrong with white men.
And I don't think there's nothing wrong with white men, but it's a mentality that black women have when they choose a white man. All black women do not all black women do not
That was
choose.
Siri telling me to charge my phone.
No, all black men do not choose. I mean, all black women do not choose white men because they're in love. And I've seen that. I've got sisters. I've seen how that circulates and how that it usually starts off as, hey, the white man is just being, saying sweet things to them. You know what I mean?
No, black men say sweet things to women.
And then it's
y'all might not mean
and then
it.
it's maybe okay. I ain't never messed with a white guy before, but I'll go on a date. And then the white guy takes you on a date. You know what I mean? Sometimes he just flatters you, or maybe he just seems like he's just down to earth, or maybe he's just a good listener. Because white men are great listeners, and some of them have.
I think you broad stroking white men.
No,
and white
I'm
women
dead
right now.
ass serious.
That's
Black
based on your
women,
experience.
black women do not start out wanting a white man. Like some of them do. But it's always some shit about the black man didn't stand up or didn't do this, or the black man. You have some black women that are just attracted to white men, and I respect that. But
you just contradicted yourself.
No, I didn't.
Okay, all right, I'm gonna let you
It
finish.
is some black women that do like black men. It's always one or two.
White men or black men?
I mean, white men. But it's always some damn, it's always, anytime you talk about this kind of stuff, it's always a percent that are genuine. But we're talking about most. Most black women do not start off liking a white man.
All right.
They don't.
Okay.
They don't.
All right. So what advice can you give to your brothers to keep it in the family?
I mean, black man gonna be a black man. You know what I'm saying?
And we're supposed to accept that?
No, I'm not saying that.
Because what does that even mean? A black man's gonna be a black man. What does that mean?
Well, a black man, hey, we born different, live different,
How?
go through
Explain.
different stuff.
I need you to give it to me.
Tell
me like I'm a 2-year-old. Explain to me like I'm a 2-year-old.
Hey,
because
you know what I mean? Some black women leave black men because they just tired of struggling. Some black men can't help that. Some black men started out struggling, and it's hard to get out of the struggle once you.
No, let me tell you something.
It is.
I get it.
I don't want to accept the plight of the black man.
Well, no, it's not that I don't want to accept the plight of a black man. However, who we are as a people, it's instilled in us to get it out of the mud. And if you a man that can't get it out of the mud, then I got a problem.
I'm one of them that can get out of the mud, but I'm not saying Willie Bobo could have got it out the mud.
Why not?
I'm just saying he might not have got the opportunity that I got.
Everybody has the same opportunity.
Hey, when I was down on my luck, I chose this car business. Everybody can't sell cars.
But you can do something.
But most people, maybe factory work. If that's all you got, maybe factory work ain't working out for you. $22 to $25 an hour, and your woman want this lifestyle might not work. A lot of black women leave black men for stability. Other ones leave them for comfort because the white man is a lot nicer.
So I'm gonna tell you this.
A white man is a lot nicer to the black woman because he's getting something that he normally can't get. All right.
So to that I say, do not be mad at a black woman for.
I didn't say I was mad though.
Listen to what I'm saying. Give me a chance. Don't be mad at a black woman for being the man that we wanted, becoming the man that we wanted.
And I was mad.
No. I'm not saying that you're mad, but I'm just saying.
But I just want to put that out.
Yeah, no, I know you're not mad, but I'm just saying if y'all can't rise to meet us, what we supposed to do?
Hey, to each his own. I feel the same, and I have white.
Furthermore, just like I said in previous episodes, I had to become who I am and get it out of the mud myself because I have never been, with the exception of with Terry and my first husband, I never was afforded the luxury of being soft and not being masculine and not getting it for myself, right? But I also made the decision that I don't want to, and this is just my preference, I don't want to date outside my race, so you can't broad stroke every black woman.
I didn't say every. See, anytime you get in these conversations, those things go from like you talking about a certain person to everybody. I'm not saying everybody. Some black women marry for love. Some black women don't they like the way a white man look. They like a damn light brother, and that's just a couple shades lighter than the light brother. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, some black women like red niggas. My grandma love red niggas. You know what I'm saying? And the next step down from that, maybe a shade or two, would be a white man. So I could see that if my grandmother said, "Hey, you know, Wally, I'm bringing home a white man to dinner." You know what I mean? I could say, "Okay, well, damn, grandmama, you always had a red nigga." You know what I mean? So I could understand that. But man, we got Serena Williams out here that done dated every black man and that did her wrong, and she just felt like she needed a white man.
Why can't that just be somebody that she fell in love with, Wally?
She didn't fall in love with this man.
You don't know that.
She liked Drake. She was with Common. These are strong black brothers.
Okay.
Well, Drake is a red nigga.
But Drake and Common are not the best examples.
But
okay?
I'm just saying, before that, she was with other niggas. She was with a few black men that had money. It wasn't they couldn't meet that the economic scale, you know what I mean? They had more shit. A couple of them had more success than her at the time that she was with him. This woman went to the white man because she felt safe with him. And a lot of black women do that. But my whole point was they don't start out loving the white man. It's not like they meet the white man in the club and they just like, oh God, I just fell in love with this white guy today.
As a woman, I think it's our prerogative and it's a warrant for a woman to feel safe with whomever she's with. And if she don't feel safe with a black man, then so be it.
And that's all I want for the black women to admit. If they don't have to say, hey, you know what I mean, he just, the first time I seen him, I just fell in love. That's lies. These niggas treated you like shit, and then this man came along saying all the right shit, and then you was like, I don't know if he's gonna be good in bed. You started going, I don't know if his parents are gonna call me nigga, you know what I mean? You didn't know nothing about the white man. It was more questions about the white man, about the relationship with the white man than what you had with the black man. I promise you that.
Harry, what's the time check? Because I'm sick of him.
I'm being real.
We still got 11 minutes.
So I'll continue. So then they go through the process. Men in the club, or hey man, you know, Johnny over there says you're cute. Johnny says you're cute.
Why is nigga gotta be
got black people named Johnny. I just said Johnny boy.
How about Tyrone?
Danny boy. So that was good night, John boy. John boy said you're cute. He comes over. He probably decked down. He probably got some swag about him. He probably got some Negro attributes. Like, there's a lot of white people that got soul in them. So you probably kind of can get comfortable with the way he talking. Then, but I promise you, when y'all lay it out, like before y'all want to be in a relationship, I promise you, if you write a list out of what the problems are and what the cons and pros are, I promise you that it's probably even between the black man and the white man. Now you got to choose why you want this white man. Cause I say 8 times out of 10, cause I don't know, but I'm just telling you what I heard. They is not as good in bed as the black man is.
Listen, as a woman,
sometimes that don't matter. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, so let me just say this: as a woman that is single, that is dating, I think it's the dating pool has pee in it, and COVID, and chlamydia, and E. coli. It's got a whole bunch of stuff in it, and I think that at the end of the day, that women just want to be treated right.
That's what.
And now, while I do have my preference,
y'all think y'all can get that from the white man or the Mexican.
Mexican?
Now, not the black women, but the white women don't even want the black man no more. They want the Mexican. So I mean, I'm just saying, like, everybody's looking for something, and it's usually stability and happiness, right? But what they don't realize is these white motherfuckers fool too. You see, P Valley, that shit be real. That motherfucker was crazy as hell. You get these white women, they get super jealous. They think they out sneaking around with black men, and they might still want to go back and get some mandingo. You know what I mean? Like, shit, they going through shit too.
Let me finish my thought.
Go ahead. I thought you was finishing something.
My thought is that a woman just wants to feel safe. A woman wants to feel loved. And I think that because of the state of dating right now, that, like I said, I have my preference. I wouldn't necessarily date outside my race, but that's just me. But I think that if he checks off all the boxes, if you're open-minded enough as a black woman, you'll date.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
If you feel that way, then why most of y'all have a problem with a black man dating a white woman?
I don't have a problem with that.
Because a black man want the same shit.
I don't have a problem with that, but then I'm not the average female because I mind my business.
Most
do whatever
black
you
women
want
got
to
a
do.
problem with a black man being with a black woman.
But why though?
Just like we have, most of us have a problem with,
I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah, me neither.
I don't care. You don't have to worry about me looking at you cross-eyed or giving you the turkey eye at the restaurant or at the store or whatever when you come in with your white companion. I don't care.
But why most of them relationships have that? Though?
I can't speak to that because that's not how I am. I don't care. I care about what happened in my 4, and I care about my 3 squares and my 3 kids. I don't care about that. As long as you're not trying to sleep with my husband or my boyfriend, I don't care.
I was just looking at, they bashing the dude from CNN. What's his name? The Van dude that gets on Van something, that gets on, that does the political stuff.
The black guy?
Yeah, the black guy. So he's the social media clown today. Like, he's the donkey of the day.
He's the donkey of the day every day, in my opinion, but whatever.
No, but he's a Democrat, and he kind of goes hard for Democrats.
Is he a Democrat?
Van Jones. Yeah.
Is he a Democrat, though?
He switched sides, but
yeah,
you know what I
he
mean?
danced with the wind.
Yeah, he trying to keep a job, but you know what I mean? For the main part, he always been on, like, the Republican side.
Van Jones, Now,
he gonna say some shit like, hey, this and that. He didn't really like Joe Biden now, but anyway. He said some things, if you watch him, he said some things on CNN where he bashes how white people treat black people, right? Well, today they revealed who his wife was.
She white?
Oh, yeah. She ain't just white. She's sunflower, suburban, drive a Subaru. She that white. You know what I'm saying? Like, she that looking white. Like, you know what I mean? 2 kids and a dog white. American dream white. And let me tell you, they bashing that brother. But I was looking at that, I was saying, well, why they bashing him? You know what I'm saying? Because he got a white woman, you know what I mean? The black man just want the same thing that the black woman want.
I thought we were talking about Diddy and Cassie.
No, but we got on that because Cassie got a white man. And I'm telling you why she got a white man. Because he accepts some shit like that. If Cassie walked up on you, let's just take an audience thing. Cassie walked up on you, and you could be totally honest. You're not going to offend me. If Cassie walked up on you and told you all that shit she been through, what would you do? Could she be the love of your life? Say, kiss my head. Could she be the love of your life? That's a no. Say, hey, Harry, just honest, if she came to you and laid it all out on the table, she couldn't be the love of your life. No man wants
you're trying to tell me that woman in her victimhood is less than a woman and is not good enough for you because of the things that happened to her in her past?
If she had to go to a white woman if she wanted the 3 kids and a dog and the lovely life and the protective shit, because the black man wasn't gonna go for that shit. Black man can't go through that shit. We can't go through that mentally. What's one of the first questions that a black man asks you when y'all start getting comfortable? What's one of them little jokes he try to sneak in? And how many people you slept with?
No man has ever.
No man has
me. Nope.
Shit, I done asked every woman I've been to. What's your body count? I try to
First
sneak
of all,
it in there.
it's nobody's business what my body count is.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
Oh, no man want to marry a woman that done slept with 100 people. So you just want to fill that question out. You might
doesn't matter.
You might say it's slick, I bet.
So we fill it on a questionnaire?
Sometimes you gotta ask. You gotta ask. How many you dated? Man, we got a lot of shit going on.
So share your my chart if it's that serious.
Yeah, but we didn't have my charts all the time now. We just, black people really just talking about my charts the last few years since COVID. We didn't have my chart. I didn't know what a my chart was till COVID. And that was 4-5 years ago. And I'm pretty sure it was out there, but I didn't know what a my child was. I'd had insurance all my life. I didn't know it was like going on the internet and see every time I've been to the doctor and this and this and that. And all my test results and stuff. I didn't know that. But he counting us down.
Good.
We ended.
Because you're on my nerves right now.
Why? Sometimes you gotta be honest, man. I'm not letting these black women dog these black men because we got white women and y'all got black men, y'all got white men. Like, and it's all for the same reason. You want the same, black men want the same thing that the black woman want. We want stability. We want less aggravation. We want somebody that's gonna treat us right.
So we aggravating?
Aggravating as fuck. I ain't gonna lie to you. Black woman aggravating as shit.
And with that,
oh Lord, you can't cut it off of that. You gonna make me look like a monster.
You are a monster right
now.
No,
I'm not. I'm being honest.
What should we talk about next, Wally?
We gotta go back and still on the Diddy trial 2 weeks from now.
2 weeks from now?
2 weeks from now, we're gonna have a lot more information.
Aren't we?
I think we are.
We want to revisit in 2 weeks.
The Diddy trial, yeah. This is the hot topic.
All right.
And it's open. See how much this opened up the door. This opened up to why a black woman that done slept with a whole lot of men can't be accepted by a black man.
After we dissect and unpack the Diddy trial, we need to talk about interracial relationships because obviously you have opinions.
I have. Let me tell you this before we get off of this because I don't want to look like that.
No, you look how you look.
No, because people opinions, you can look like something that you're not because it's opinionated. But I have two sister-in-laws that are Caucasian.
I have a sister-in-law that's Caucasian.
Yeah, and I have 5 nieces
that are biracial.
None of my brothers have sons. All of them have daughters. I have 3 daughters, and other one has 2 daughters. And my brother and my stepbrother has a daughter too. And we grew up together, so I count that too. So yeah, I have white people in my family. My thing ain't. I never said not one time, would I like a white woman? Nor did I say I have a problem with a black woman being with a white man. I'm saying why they want a white man and why a black man want a white woman. Why? Sometimes it's a natural attraction, which I think my brothers, I've never seen them date anybody but a white woman. So to me, in my brothers' thing is that they just have a taste for a white woman. Maybe that's what they like. And that's fine by me, but some brothers want something different. They start out just wanting another life. And I think what they think a better life equates to is a white woman and vice versa. I think the same thing. And I just think that I think black women put more emphasis on a black man going with a white girl like it's a much more disrespect, where when it's the opposite way, the black man is like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, the black woman is like, oh, justified. That nigga ain't shit. Got tired of dealing with niggas. Motherfuckers was cheaters. Motherfucker did this. Slapped me upside the head. You know what I mean? It's more of that when it's the other way around, they don't even say, okay, well, yeah, he probably wanted a white woman. He probably just wanted to try a different race because, you know, we just hard to deal with. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying whether I agree or disagree. I'm saying there's reasons behind the colorism, wanting a person that's a different race. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying.
All right.
I just wanted to clear that up.
All right.
Because Naisha was going to make me look like I was just...
I wasn't going to make you look like anything.
She was over there, them expressions was going to have my people like, oh, girl, about to read you. Let me tell you what I meant.
And that concludes our episode of Real Talk with King Sharif.
Yeah. I'm Sharif. Back on this Diddy shit.
I can't believe you. What you just saying?